Another glorious day in the French capital as we head towards the business end of the second Grand Slam of the year. Look at the people in the deck chairs. It's so nice to see. We saw none of that in week one. Good evening and welcome to Roland-Garros on a day when semi-finalists were confirmed and a defending champion withdrew. So here for you is what we have for you on tonight's show. Injury forces defending champion Novak Djokovic to withdraw from Roland-Garros. New world number one Jannik Sinner moves through to the semi-finals. And Iga Świątek to face Coco Gauff in the final four. So to the main news today that broke this afternoon, that Novak Djokovic, the three-time Roland-Garros champion, has been forced to withdraw. Now, you may have seen his match yesterday against Francisco Cerundolo. Afterwards, he did say that he'd been carrying a niggle in his knee. He aggravated the right knee during the match. He had medical attention. He somehow managed to turn it round from a breakdown in the fourth to win it in five. But afterwards, he said he wasn't sure if he would play his quarter-final. He would need things to be assessed. Today, he withdrew from his practice. He had an MRI. And due to a torn medial meniscus in his right knee, the decision was made. And in his words, he said it was a tough decision that I had to make with my team, that I would not be able to continue. And we do really wish Novak Djokovic a speedy recovery. Now, as a consequence of that, on Monday, we will have a new world number one. Now, Jannik Sinner is going to be the first Italian man to hold that top spot since the rankings began. And he was informed of this news on Philippe Chatrier after his match with Grigor Dimitrov by Fabrice Santoro.
Next Monday, at the age of 22 years old, you will become the first Italian ever to be number one in the world.
It's a huge. It's a special moment for me, and I'm very happy to share this all with you guys, all the guys who are watching at home, especially from Italy. And yeah, let's see Friday what I can do.
Once again, congratulations, mesdames et messieurs, Jannik Sinner.
Congratulations to Jannik Sinner. He will be world number one on Monday. So a lot to look back to, a lot to look ahead to. And I'm delighted that here with me this evening, former world number 5, former finalist here in 2015, two-time Roland-Garros doubles champion, 5-time Grand Slam doubles champion, Lucie Safarova.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for bringing the nice weather, because week one was pretty awful.
I was watching the weather. I was like, I don't want to come to rainy Paris. And I was very happy that the sun came with me.
And you brought your family to Paris with you.
I did,
so it's a family affair.
It is. I have 2 kids now, Leah and Oliver, and they are both here. They were watching the match today. I mean, watching. I would call climbing, whatever's possible there. But I was very happy to see them there.
Now, I was wondering, because you're playing in the Legends event, you were alongside
Yes.
Natalie Deschy, you were on Susan Longland, which has this beautiful new roof, and the children were sort of paying attention to what Mum was doing?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a beautiful court. I have great memories playing there a few years back, and I really enjoyed being on the court with my friends. So it's just very nice to be back in Paris on the courts here.
In terms of memories, there are so many from you deciding to actually play your final tournament as a professional here, and we wind back to 2015 when you reached the singles final and took Serena Williams to 3 sets. I mean, how do you look back on it? I mean, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, obviously it was probably the best result of my career here. So obviously Paris has a special spot in my heart, and playing Serena when she was, at her top tennis was very difficult, very challenging. I was even leading 2-0 in the third, but then she just stepped it up to another level, and I was still, it was still very nice to be there in the finals. I think it's a dream of every tennis player to be in a Grand Slam final. Obviously, you want to win, but it wasn't easy against Serena, and we won the doubles here, so I got some of the best trophies.
Well, you've got 5 Grand Slam doubles trophies in total. These wonderful scenes of the crowd showing their appreciation for you. And as you said, this is what people work for, they aim for, they want to achieve, and you're up there in a Grand Slam final.
Yeah, it was amazing, and Martina was there at the ceremony, so that was also very special. I treasure those memories.
Yeah, they're such wonderful memories, and they are such wonderful moments. And the sun was shining, which I always love to see.
It was pretty warm that day.
And you mentioned, so you've got 5 Grand Slam doubles titles, and 2 of them here at Roland-Garros. What is it about Roland-Garros, and what is it about the clay for you?
I mean, I grew up on clay. Obviously, in Czech, we have 6 months on clay and 6 months the winter. So that's usually on the fast indoor surfaces. But I think it's that we learn how to slide and how to adjust to the clay very early. And I always like to play on clay, but it's not only clay. I like all the surfaces. I think it's very nice to change it, but Paris became the best for me.
And therefore, was it a very natural decision when you decided to end your career, and you could end it on your terms, that it would be here at Roland-Garros?
Yeah, I think it was like, because Roland-Garros was special for me, I decided that it's the right Grand Slam to end it here. And I got the trophy on the Philippe Chatrier court from Roland-Garros, which was very nice, and I still have it at home. And so that's I decided it would be the best way to do it.
And is your daughter, because she's a little bit older, aware of what you do and what you've done yet, or not quite?
So this was a little bit of my reason as well to play a little more tennis, because obviously my husband played professional hockey. So since she understood what's going on, it was always hockey, hockey, hockey. And I was like, Mom, what are you doing? I'm like, I actually played tennis. So now she can see me play tennis, and she's playing herself now a little bit, and so now we can play a little over net ball, so it's becoming more fun.
Yeah, and if you're watching, your mum played tennis really well, former world number 5. Now, as you know, our night and day at Roland-Garros, we build up to the night session. This is the penultimate night session, and it features Carlos Alcaraz, semi-finalist here last year. Slight doubts, worries, and I should say we like to give you times. This was 1:56 this afternoon, about his arm, and it felt that he was a little bit more worried. It was sort of in his head a little bit, the injury.
I think he was now struggling, like it's been a while, like he didn't have a strike of tournaments without an injury. So I know from myself, being a tennis player, being injured, it's really hard that I would say tennis train is kind of going, and once you're out, it's kind of hard to jump back in, because everyone has the matches and the confidence and everything, and you have to like step up your level again. So I feel for him that it's not easy, and I definitely think that if he's healthy, he is the next Rafa Nadal probably.
Ooh, that's a really good way of looking at it, the tennis train. This is the man he'll be facing this evening, Stefanos Tsitsipas. He chose to train at Jean Bouin, the training facility opposite Roland-Garros, and what he has to deal with is the fact that he is 0-5 against Carlos Alcaraz, who has said, I have the key, I know what I have to do tactically to beat him.
Well, 0-5, it's not like 0-2. It's kind of like I still got it, but 0-5, it's quite a lot. I'm 0-10 against Petra Kvitova, so I know how it feels. Obviously, once Alcaraz has such a score against him. He must be very confident going into this match. But it's tennis, and that's the beauty of the sport, that you never know what can happen, and we will see. Definitely, I'm looking forward to this match. I think it will be a great match, and let's see if he can twist the score.
I know, very much looking forward to it, and we'll keep an eye on them and how they were training a little bit later in the show. But now to the completed matches. The matches saw us book our first 3 semi-finalists in this year's Final Fours. Starting with, and we were talking about this, Lucie, before we came on air, what a match this was in the sunshine earlier today. Ons Jabeur finally finding some form after her knee injury. And Coco Gauff, she's still just 20 years of age, and what she's achieving is incredible.
I really like watching Coco grow because I feel like she is one of the young ones that are actually stable. We see a lot of the stars coming up, but not really then making the stable progress. But Coco is one of the top players that I feel is kind of growing and growing, and I know there are huge expectations on her to compete and be the next Serena and winning all the Grand Slams, but I feel like she has the game. She's a very nice girl. She's still improving her game, and she's very tough mentally. So I would really like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's frightening. She is still so young. There is still so much room to improve when you're that young.
Yeah, and she's working hard on herself. And this match was, great match. And she showed again how tough mentally she is to win the key moments of the third set.
Yeah, look at that celebration. A second semi-final at Roland-Garros. Her first was in 2022 when she'd go on to lose in the final to Iga Świątek, the youngest player to reach 3 or more consecutive women's singles semi-finals at a Grand Slam since Maria Sharapova. There are so many stats and numbers alongside the name of Coco Gauff. But the third seed is through. She was the first player through to this year's semi-finals. And after the match was won, we got her thoughts on court.
Definitely trying to be more aggressive. She was playing really well the whole match, and she was hitting a lot of winners on me, which is something I'm not used to against like anybody. So today I was just trying to just be aggressive towards the end, and I got a little bit tight the last couple match points, but I think I did what I needed to do to win the match.
Lucie, I'm running out of words to describe Iga Świątek and what she's doing out there. Yeah, I feel you. It's she's been playing amazing on clay, not for this season, but for last season as well. And the first match against Osaka, once you win such a match, coming back from, match points down, what usually happens, you gather so much confidence as well, but she survived that, and then she can play freely the entire tournament, and that's, I think, what she's doing. She's just performing so strong that so far no opponents can even win few games.
They can't get anywhere near her 19-match winning streak at Roland-Garros, unbeaten on Philippe Chatrier since 2021, 17-match winning streak on clay, her 40th career top 10 win, #1 seed for a 9th consecutive Grand Slam, looking to reach the final for a 3rd year in a row and a 4th time in 6 appearances. It's absolutely phenomenal, and she has only just turned 23. Świątek back in the semi-finals. Here she is after the win.
Honestly, I think everything worked. I feel like I've been serving better than in previous rounds, so that gave me, extra boost of confidence. And overall, I just felt like I'm playing pretty heavy, and I could just, play my game and really go with my tactics and not really overthink anything.
Her head-to-head with Coco Gauff is 10-1 in favour of Iga Świątek. Cannot wait to see how that plays out. Now we continue following the night session players who'll be coming out at around 22 minutes past 8. This is Carlos Alcaraz. We couldn't find him in the gym. There are cameras everywhere. But at 5:19 he was out on court. Did you enjoy playing a night match later in the day, or would you like to be out and done?
I was more liking the day matches just because I'm an early bird and I like to go to bed early. But if we are talking about the atmosphere on court, I feel the night matches are special. For me, it was just always hard to fall asleep after a night match. So then I didn't have a good night's sleep after the match, and then you're kind of out of your routine. That's what I didn't like about it. But obviously, you know, to play on a Grand Slam night session, it's a privilege. So with all the fans out there, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it certainly is. And this was afterwards with John McEnroe. We've got cameras everywhere. I'd love microphones. I'd love to know the conversation between John McEnroe and Carlos. Maybe they were talking about music. Maybe they weren't even discussing tennis.
Maybe, yeah. Usually there's more fun outside of tennis courts. So when they are laughing, it must be something out of tennis.
Yeah, I think we assume it's always tennis. And so many people have said to me, no, we rarely talk about tennis when we get
We are
together.
normal human beings.
We're normal
we like
people.
Also music and
we have other
food.
interests. And we know Stefanos Tsitsipas has other interests. When he burst onto the scene, it was photography and videoing things and doing vlogs. His tennis and his private life have taken over now, and that seems to be the focus. But again, every player, I would imagine, has their own routine and everything they need to go through before whatever time they step out on court.
Yeah, I think that's a key for every player to have the right routine and to follow it. It kind of brings well-being and the confidence and that everything is in order, but everyone is different, so someone likes to be more quiet, someone likes the bursting music in the ears, so...
No, it seems he wanted some peace and quiet over at Jean-Mouin earlier today, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Right, to the men's highlights and just the one completed match, because of course the players that you have seen have not stepped out onto the court yet. So let's check in with the new world number one, Jannik Sinner. And on one side you have Grigor Dimitrov, who's having a renaissance, back in the world's top 10, the final in Miami, a first quarter-final here. And then you have Jannik Sinner at 22. He's only lost twice this season to Carlos Alcaraz in Indian Wells and Stefanos Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo.
What a season now. I mean, he must be like playing the tennis of his life, and he's only 22, so I really enjoy his game style. He seems like a really nice guy as well, and it's huge for Italy.
It's massive, and the Italian women as well. You add Jasmine Paolini in the quarterfinals tomorrow, but Jannik Sinner, and I think when you speak to him, he always talks about developing. I remember he won the Australian Open. He goes into a room with his coaches, and he's talking about how to improve when he's just won his first Grand Slam title.
Which is great, but I think that's something what we can see at the top players. They always want to improve their games, and it was Roger as well, you know, even late in his career, changing I think his serve a little bit, and I think if you want to keep up with the level, you got to work on yourself and you know, have the right people around you to guide you into your grow, and that's I admire that.
And as you say, he seems to be a very humble, nice young man. Whenever I've interviewed him, it's a hello, please, thank you. And we had a happy Easter in Miami. He's a very considerate young man, and again, just 22 years of age.
Yeah, but I really like to see that, because I think that's what we need, to have the stars that they are nice people and you know, bring out the good. Yes. And to show to the young generation how to behave, and it's not only about winning matches, it's also to be a good human being to others.
Absolutely. Always say to my children, just say please and thank you. It will get you far in life if you say please and thank you. Now, as you can tell, it's a little bit windy this evening, but it's clear and the roof is open, and we are getting set for the penultimate night session. Now, before we welcome the players out onto Philippe Chatrier for the penultimate time this year, let's find out a little bit more about the two men who'll be taken to the court very soon.
Without tennis, my life would have been so much different in regards of challenging myself, because through tennis, I'm able to set goals for my own personal life.
I know that Stefanos is playing great, but I know tactically what I have to do in the match.
There is that 5-0 once again, confirmation of who we're about to see. And Lucie, when there is, and you touched on your record with Petra Kvitova, if there is a record that you have like that against someone, and they've said tactically, I know what to do you still play your own game, or do you have to change? What do you do in that situation?
I mean, obviously, you talk to your coach and you try to change things, because it seems like Alcaraz knows how to play Tsitsipas already, and he's shown it multiple times. So I think it's more on the side of Tsitsipas to come up with something different, which is hard against a player like Alcaraz, but he has to try, because if he just continues to play the same, he knows it will probably not go his way. So but you know, to find holes in Alcaraz's game, that's not so easy.
I guess they just have to hope that there is still some doubt in the mind of Alcaraz about the right forearm. He said himself that, I just think about it, I'm not sure if I can unload on it as I should, and maybe Tsitsipas just has to hope that there is still that doubt.
Yeah, that could be, of course. We are, as I said, we are just human beings, so if he's not feeling well, if he's a little injured, that's definitely in favor for Tsitsipas.
Lucie, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for inviting.
Good luck with the Legends, and I believe you're going to be back on court in the summer with Bethany Massick-Sands.
Yes, exciting for that, for sure.
Oh, that's brilliant. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lucie Safarova with us this evening on Night and Day at Roland-Garros. And all there's left to tell you now, you can see the players in the tunnel. Just quickly for tomorrow, the quarterfinals, the women's quarterfinals, Jasmine Paolini, Elena Rybakina, that starts at 2:15, because we don't have the match of Novak Djokovic and Casper Ruud, with Casper Ruud directly through to the semi-finals. So it's a 2:15 start for the quarterfinals. Then the final night session will be Sasha Zverev and Alex de Minaur. But it's all about these two here. And very shortly, as we say goodbye, back at the same time tomorrow, we leave you with the introductions of the former finalist here in Paris, of Stefanos Tsitsipas. Enjoy the match, and we'll be back with you at the same time tomorrow.
Le premier joueur à entrer sur le court est 9e mondial. Il a remporté 11 titres dans sa carrière. Il a disputé 2 finales en Grand Chelem, dont une ici à Roland-Garros. C'était en 2021. Il est grec. Voici Stefanos Tsitsipas. Dans sa carrière, dont 2 en Grand Chelem, l'Espagnol